Hello. I am just waiting for some viewers, so if you're watching the replay, we'll probably have about 60 seconds of sort of dead time here while we're just waiting to see some faces here. Let's see if we can get some light on the subject. There we go, we're starting to get some peeps. That's too bright. That's a little crazy. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, it looks like we are about 30 seconds away from being 9 o'clock Eastern, so we'll just chill out for a minute here. If you're signing in to watch our video, please comment and let us know that you're here. Say hello, Happy New Year. Tell us if you are planning on losing a few extra pounds that you found in 2017, because we're going to be talking about that. I'm raising my hand. And it looks like we are at 9 o'clock, so we're going to dive right in. Hi, Tracy. So this is going to be awesome because I have a lot of really fun gifts and prizes for you guys, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. Happy New Year, Carol. And that is the doTERRA Trim Shakes. And I found that there's a lot of people that really have no idea how to properly use them. And a lot of people who just think that they don't taste good, and I just think it's really lack of information. And I am like a trim shake queen, and so I'm going to tell you my secret plan for enjoying the doTERRA Trim Shakes. You will never ever look at them the same again after we have this conversation. And because I love you so very much, if you happen to be part of my team, or if sometime in the next, I guess, less than 24 hours now, well, I can't do math in my head, but I guess about 30 hours from now or something, if you happen to join with me and join my team, I am doing a 31-day super simple wellness habits group, okay? And you're going to love it because we're going to have 31 trim shake recipes. So every single day you can choose to replace one of your meals with a doTERRA Trim Shake that is going to taste delicious. It's not going to taste like chalk. It's not going to make you wish that you had eaten a cheeseburger instead. Let me move this back a little bit. You're actually going to like the taste, and you're going to feel like you've eaten a full meal. It's awesome. And so not only will you be getting 31 days of trim shake recipes, but you will also be getting advice from medical professionals who love essential oils and other natural solutions. You'll be getting advice from personal trainers, yoga instructors. They'll be giving you some really super simple, easy ways for you to get active. You don't have to be like, you don't have to join a gym or be a world-class athlete to do their simple 20 minutes of activity that they're going to suggest. We're going to have people that are in the nutrition field that are going to give you really yummy, healthy snack ideas. We're going to have tips for dealing with stress and just being more mindful and taking care of your inside, like your thoughts and your emotions. We're going to be doing stuff that you're going to love. And these are all going to be experts in their fields and essential oil experts that are going to be giving you advice. And your ticket to get in is just that you are a doTERRA wholesale member on my team. So if you're here watching and you're part of another team, enjoy this. We love you. The 31-day event is just for my team, and so I'm going to post a little link where you can ask to join, and it's going to ask you to give your member ID number. I'm also going to tell you how you can join and some really awesome things about joining before the end of December. So stick around to the end. Now, this is going to be weird because I'm not actually going to make a trim shake, just because my son is sleeping like very, very nearby, and the Lord help all of us if he wakes up, because I was praying for every one of those last moments that it was close to his bedtime today. It was just one of those days. I love my son dearly, but it was just one of those days with him. He was a blessing. So I'm not going to wake him up, but I'm going to show you everything you need to know. So number one, I think you need to get a really high-powered blender if you're going to really enjoy the trim shakes. I don't see my friend Mary on here from Louisiana, but I stayed at her house and I tried really hard to make one of my trim shakes in just like a regular blender at her house. And there was like chunks of stuff in there, and it wasn't, I'm really big on textures. Like, it needs to be smooth, and I can't have chunks. So, so for the type of ingredients, thank you, Ashley. Ashley, thank you for saying that, because I need to say that. Let me get back to that in a second. You need a high-powered blender. So my favorite one is the Ninja, and I like this little bullet cup, but there's lots of different ones out there. If it will crush things to a pulp, it's going to make your life a lot easier. There's a couple cheats that I can tell you if you don't have a really super high-powered blender. Like pretty much if you stuck like cement in here, it would be liquefied. That's what you're looking for. So it really helps if you have that in order to properly enjoy the power of the Trim Shake. The other thing is I would say if I was starting out on like a small budget, or I didn't have very many of the products yet, and if I had to choose one flavor of Trim Shake to start with, I would choose the vanilla. Now the only exception is if you are vegan and you can't do whey protein, then we have a V-Shake. And I have never tried it, but I have talked to a lot of people who use it, and they say that it's tasteless, which is totally fine because we're going to get our flavors from other good stuff. But here's the thing, like, I don't do dairy. I'm paleo, okay? But I understand how doTERRA sources their ingredients, number one, and I've tried this and I have no issues. When I eat pasteurized dairy and most dairy products, I do not do well. My stomach's like super unhappy. I have no issues with this. So I feel super comfortable recommending this. But if you are like hardcore, no dairy, the chocolate and the vanilla, and I'm assuming the orange, which I don't have in front of me, have whey protein. If you want zero animal products, you're going to go with the V-Shake, okay? But for everybody else, start with the vanilla, because if you want it to be chocolate, that's why God made cocoa, okay? So if you can't like splurge and have the chocolate flavor and the vanilla flavor, just get vanilla, and then when you want to go with chocolate and you have a recipe that's chocolate Trim Shake, you can always chocolatize it with some cocoa. Please use fair trade chocolate products. People literally like get taken advantage of and even die over chocolate in this world. It's really disgusting. You should do some research on it. Whenever you purchase coffee and cocoa, please do organic fair trade. Make sure it says it on there, because it seriously like affects the lives of the people who are growing these plants for us. Okay? That's a small commercial. Back to my story from these people that are saying they're my guest. Hi to all of you. Here's why they're doing that, is they're trying to win a 5 milliliter bottle of essential oil. So I'm giving away an oil, and you don't have to be my personal guest to win the oil. All you have to do is be a guest. That means, here's the definition of a guest, so put your little ears up so you can hear. You are not a doTERRA wholesale customer, okay? You're not a member of doTERRA, and this is your first time attending a Magic Beans event, okay? So you haven't already like had a consultation with somebody, you haven't already been to a class, like this is your first one, and you're a guest. Then you want to say, I am a guest of, and tag the person that invited you, okay? You got to do that to enter. Now, if you don't know who invited you, you saw an advertisement, you like the page, you're my guest. So you can say, I'm a guest of the page, or I'm a guest of Deanna. And the other cool thing is if you say that you're a guest, we're going to give you, every single one of you, a free gift. We're going to give you a free ebook. You're going to love it. It's going to be about some super simple daily wellness habits that you can do that's going to change your life, and involving doTERRA products. And so it'll just give you a little information about how you can learn to use the oils in your everyday life. And even if you don't have the oils yet, it's cool because it's a really great educational tool. So if you're a guest and you say, I am a guest of, and you say that phrase, we're going to private message you a link to get the free ebook, okay? And we're going to enter you into a drawing. You have to be on here live, and we're going to give away a 5 milliliter bottle of essential oil, okay? And if you're part of my team, or if you join my team by the end of December 31st, tomorrow, then you can be in our 31-day event, which you are going to love. We've worked so hard on it, and I'm really looking forward to all of the awesome people that have contributed. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. So here's what I'm going to teach you. You're going to find a lot of stuff. Gosh, I have lots of guests on here. Hi, Tara. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Dolores. It's good to see you. Tammy's a guest. Make sure you say who invited you, or that you're a guest of the page. Okay, I'm getting myself distracted. So I'm going to give you like what I call the anatomy of a Trim Shake. Okay, so I asked a lot of people to submit recipes for Trim Shakes so that I could like have a bunch more, so we could have one new one every day so you don't get bored. Gosh, you don't want to get bored doing Trim Shakes, okay? They can't just, if you follow the directions on the bottle, you're going to be like, nah, whatever. You might last a week. Because it's really boring. You know, we have to have variety. We're not made to just eat the same exact thing every single day. The directions on here, I'm going to read the directions to you, and I'm going to tell you that these don't do this. Okay? It says blend 1 scoop of shake mix and half a cup of non-fat dairy, almond, rice, or soy milk or water until smooth and creamy. No, don't do that. Non-fat dairy, number 1. Okay? Non-fat dairy, that's not food, so we're going to scratch off that. And half a cup's really not going to cut it either. Half a cup is 4 ounces. That's not enough liquid. There's also not enough calories and fat in here to satiate you. So let me tell you a little story. Bless people's hearts. They want to teach you that if you are trying to lose weight, you need to cut your calories and cut your fat. That is so wrong. And whoever made up that fact has obviously never struggled with their weight. I have struggled with my weight my entire adult life. I have been over 350 pounds, okay? So I have like personal experience with this. And I can tell you that I lost 150 pounds eating more calories and more healthy fats than ever before in my life. And that is because you have to make sure that you're not putting your body in starvation mode. And you have to give yourself enough calories. We all have different calorie needs. And so you probably need to do a little research. It's based on your resting metabolic rate, which is different for everybody. And I'm going to tell you, if you have struggled with your weight and you really don't eat a lot, and you don't eat, like, you don't sit around eating chips and Krispy Kremes and all that, and you've still struggled with your weight, and you've got people in your life that are like stuffing all this crap in their face 24/7, and they're as skinny as a rail, and you want to like murder them, and I feel you. Like, I really think that the majority of overweight people are in this category. They're not consuming enough calories. They're going throughout the day like barely eating like a bird. They have to force themselves to eat, or maybe you just like eat one really big meal. You're not getting enough calories, and the calories that you're consuming, you're probably worried that everything's too high in fat. Gosh, that's so backwards. So when somebody tells you to eat non-fat dairy, you can just hear it in your head, that is not food. Okay, dairy has fat in it unless you jacked around with it. So we don't want to mess around with our food. We want to eat it in its whole state, like it came that way. So if you've ever milked a cow, and if you haven't, you should try it, and you should watch somebody do it if you don't want to do it yourself. It comes with a layer of like milk, and then when it sits, it separates, and there's a layer of cream. That is your fat. When you take that out, you have removed part of the food, and you're not getting the full nutritional benefit. You're getting a ton of sugar. So when you go to anything that's low fat or no fat, you're actually making it harder for yourself to lose weight, because you're giving yourself this big insulin response, like you're eating a whole bunch of sugar. Sugar has to be balanced out with proper amounts of fats and healthy fats. So that was just like, that's free information. So therefore, when I give you a Trim Shake recipe, it's going to be based on the idea that Trim Shake, man cannot live on Trim Shake alone, okay? This was not made to be in a complete meal on its own, and non-fat dairy is not going to cut it. Water, adding this to water is not going to cut it. You're going to need to add some stuff to it, okay? Some of these things are optional. I like to add things that I think are super good and healthy. Some of these are optional, but your core things that you need are Trim Shake. You're going to have Trim Shake if you're making a Trim Shake, okay? Most of the protein powders that I have used in my life have come from really poor ingredient sources. They have been messed around with, and there's like lots of synthetic stuff in there, and they taste really bad. Like, there's this like weird chalky aftertaste. And so I know doTERRA's owners personally. I know how hard they work to source really good ingredients. So I'm really excited about the ingredients that are in here, and they have my stamp of approval, okay? So we're going to do a Trim Shake, and then my recipes always have Terra greens. Now, I know that some people have some, negative feelings about Terra greens, and I'm just going to tell you, like, the first time I tried to add a scoop of Terra greens to my Trim Shake, I was like, ooh. But the reason why isn't probably what you think. It is too sweet for me. Like, I wish it's got a little stevia in it. And, I guess they're trying to, like, appeal to people who, usually drink, like, Carnation instant breakfast or something. I'm not used to eating sweets. I don't eat sugar. So, well, let me not lie. I don't eat very much sugar, okay? I eat some sugar. But this size scoop is how much I stick in every Trim Shake now. But when I first started, I had to do that in half. like, it took me a while to build up to it. And because of the fact that there's stevia in here, and hello, there's a whole entire fruit blend in here. Fruit has sugar, so you don't really need any stevia in here, in my opinion, but that's what it is. So it's kind of sweet, so you don't need to add anything sweet to your trim shake recipe. You don't need to add, God forbid, like sugar or Hershey's chocolate syrup or some craziness. You don't need to add honey or agave syrup, which I don't even know if that's a food. You don't need to add anything sweet to this because you got this. Okay, so this is your sweetener. It's natural. And I'm telling you, like, if you don't think you're going to like taro greens, you've been using the wrong recipes for trim shakes, because every one of my trim shakes tastes like a dessert. Okay? I like food and I like it to taste good, or I'm not going to eat it. I'm not one of those people that's going to sit there and eat like a giant bowl of kale because somebody said it was good for me. That's not going to happen. So if I'm going to eat something, it's got to taste good. And so I promise you, trust me, that if you use my recipes, you're going to like taro greens for the first time in your life. Don't use taro greens by themselves. It's disgusting. Okay? It's like you're licking like grass, and it's just not cool. So you need trim shake and you need taro greens. The taro greens are optional, but they're very good for you. They are such a important thing because we just are not eating enough servings of fruits and vegetables. And who sits around and eats dandelion greens and kale? We already established that Deanna doesn't like kale. Collard greens, no way. Broccoli powder, cabbage leaf, wheatgrass, alfalfa juice. Like, I don't eat this stuff, so this is like how I get it in my body. I also have a kid who's like really picky about food textures, and he does not eat any vegetables, 0 vegetables. And that's how we get his fruits and vegetables. Well, he eats a couple fruits, but we get these in his smoothies. And that's why I really like that product. Nobody's eating enough fruits and vegetables, okay? If you are, bless you, but you're like 1 out of 1,000 people. What is going on? Okay. The next thing that I like to put as a basis for most of my trim shakes is I like to use organic, unsweetened, let's all focus on that word, unsweetened. Okay? We don't need sweetened anything. Almond milk. Now, yes, it would be much better to make your own almond milk. Yes, there is probably a better brand out there, like fresh almond milk, but in real life, I'm not going to make my own almond milk. I'm just not going to do it. So, this is the best brand personally that I've found as far as the ingredients that are in here. So that's what I'm going to go with. If you want to go a little extra effort and make your own, bless you. Come move in with me. I'll drink your almond milk, but I don't have that kind of time on my hands. So I'm just going to recommend unsweetened, plain almond milk, not flavored, not sweetened, okay? So that's going to be you got to have a liquid, okay, in there, and it can't be water because there's no calories, there's no taste, there's no fat. You need something with some fat in it. If you need more fat, like you're nursing or whatever, and you need more fat, or you're like really underweight, I hate you if you're underweight. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Coconut milk, okay? Somebody gave me a recipe today that had unsweetened coconut milk. I'm like scratching my head. So coconut milk is coconut milk. Okay, if it has to be labeled as unsweetened, or you're not going to taste an aftertaste in this, Beck, I promise you, okay? I know what you're saying about stevia. I'm not a fan of stevia. Usually I barely use it, but you're not going to taste the stevia. Trust me. Trust me, okay? I'm super honest. Yes, Karen. So if it tastes like crap, I'm not going to do it. And I'm telling you that if you don't like stevia, this is going to be fine because I've got you handled. I know what to do. I'm going to make it taste really good. So you need your trim shake. You need your taro greens. You need some sort of a base. You can do coconut milk. Don't get some low-fat, unsweetened, doctored, jacked around with coconut milk. Just straight up coconut milk, okay? That's a good base. It's just going to be thicker. It's going to be a thicker drink. So texture is everything for some people, so I'm letting you know that's super thick, okay? Then I like to, depending on what I'm trying to do, I like to add some sort of a little bit of a crunchy thing to it. So 2 of the things, and these are both protein sources. This needs more protein. Okay, in my opinion, this should have more grams of protein, so you could add more than 1 scoop. That's one way to do it. Or you can add some ingredients. So to all of my trim shakes, I either add chia seed or flaxseed. If you're going to do flaxseed, it has to be ground flaxseed, or you have to have a high-powered blender that's going to actually grind the flaxseed. You cannot put whole flaxseed in a normal blender. If you consume whole flaxseed, it's not, you're not going to get the nutritional benefits. So you can grind your own. That's not my favorite, Deanna, what are the words? Brand. That's not my favorite brand, Tressa, and I don't know enough about the ingredients off the top of my head. I really researched like which ones had which ingredients, and this is the brand that I was like, okay, this is my brand. Cashew milk, yes. Cashew milk would be fine. Just, again, read the ingredients. Make sure it hasn't been messed around with. Yes. Okay, so if I say anything about almonds, then substitute the word cashew right in there, okay? You will not find any peanut products in any of my stuff. I only eat tree nuts, and so if you're curious about that, like if there's a recipe out there for peanut anything, I automatically just put in almond butter, cashew butter, almond milk, cashew milk. Okay. Do they even make peanut milk? That would be disgusting. Okay, so I either put flaxseed or chia seed in there, like just like a tablespoon, because it needs more protein. Now, I'm going to tell you something I do, and it confuses a lot of people, so I brought the container, so there'll be no confusion. Okay, I put a raw egg in every one of my shakes. Pasture raised. You see that word? Not cage free, not organic, not vegetarian fed. Okay? You want chickens that are running around outside, you know, hanging out with the cows and the goats, just eating insects and whatever. Okay? You want them to eat grass. You don't want them to be fed grains. Okay? So you want pasture raised eggs. Especially not chickens that were fed corn or GMO corn. So I'm going to put one raw egg in my trim shake. By the time it's all mixed up, you're not going to taste the egg, and you are not going to notice a weird consistency. Okay? If you are allergic to eggs, obviously skip the egg. Okay? But it's another source of healthy fats and proteins that you need to get nutrition. This is a meal. This isn't just something that's going to taste good. It's not a snack. This is a meal, so we need to have enough fats and calories and everything in here that's going to make you not drink this followed by a Big Mac, okay? The whole point is for this to be a filling meal that gives you a ton of nutrition. I can tell a huge difference if I miss my trim shake for the day, okay? My body's like, no. Okay, then I also, depending on the flavor, I will either do coconut manna. Also, it's called coconut cream concentrate sometimes, and I'll show it to you if you've never seen it. It's just like really thick. It's almost like coconut oil, but it's not. It's like it's the meat of the coconut. So it's the cream, okay? And so I add a little bit of that to some of my recipes. If I don't do the coconut cream, then I do coconut oil. And I like Tropical Traditions brand is my brand. The gold label one is the one that I use. Virgin coconut oil. And it does make a difference what brand of coconut oil you use. I have been to the countries where they make coconut oil, and if you saw the stuff they were doing, you would understand why I'm like, find a brand you trust. They do some really crazy stuff when they're doing coconut oil, and I was just grossed out. So it matters. A lot of my shakes I'm going to add almond butter or cashew butter to, and that gives it sort of like a nutty flavor. A lot of my recipes are named after desserts, as I mentioned. So if I'm doing like like Reese's peanut butter cup type thing, it's going to have almond butter in it probably. If I'm doing like a pie, so I have a key lime pie one, and in order to give you like that pie crust sort of flavor, that's what you're going to use your flaxseed for when you grind that up. So somebody gave me a recipe that had graham cracker crumbs in it. I'm like, not food. So we can get that same taste and texture if we add a little bit of flaxseed. So you just have to use your imagination, or alternatively, you can just use my recipes. Guess where you're going to get my recipes? You're going to get them here on this page. You're going to get them on Instagram at OilShares, but you're going to get 31 Deanna approved recipes on our 31 days program that you can only get if you're a wholesale member on my team. Okay? Another thing is I like to add vitamin C powder, and I'm showing you, I'm going to read you because it's hard to see in this light. Pure Radiance C from Wild Crafted Berries. Okay, so I'm not using ascorbic acid or some like yucky non-food source. This is like camu berry extract, manioc root, acerola berry, buckwheat berry, freeze-dried berry, blueberry, raspberry. So like this is coming from food sources. It's a powder, and I just like sprinkle a little bit in my trim shake because there's iron in the tara greens, and I want to absorb that. I'm going to try to absorb that, and so that's why I want the vitamin C powder in there. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, this is a new thing I started doing recently. I started putting the PB Assist Junior sticks. By the way, if you have not tried these, you are missing out on an amazing product. These were designed as a probiotic for kids. It's like a pixie stick, and somehow this got hard, which is weird. That's weird. Hopefully they didn't all do that. Maybe I got them wet and I don't know. They shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's a strange thing. So it should sound like this. It's like a pixie stick, and kids love them. There's a little bit of a strawberry melon flavor, but honestly, when I mix it in my Trim Shake, I don't notice the taste because of all the other goodness that's in there. But I've been adding that because we all need probiotics in our life, and who's sitting around eating fermented foods all day? Like, no one's doing that in real life, okay? Maybe on their blog they're talking about that, but they're in real life, like, we have lives, we don't have time. So yeah, so PB Assist Junior, and I just throw one of those packets in my Trim Shake. And then, as I mentioned before, if you don't have the chocolate Trim Shake and you want to make a chocolatey flavor, then you can do cocoa powder. So those are just some of the ingredients. Now, lately I have been brewing my own coffee in my French press, and then I will save the coffee. I will pour it into a jar, and every day I'm using, like, maybe, I don't know how much of that is, maybe like 3 ounces of coffee. I've been putting that in some of my Trim Shake recipes, and it's really, really, really good. And so, like, that's going to be one of the recipes for sure that I'm going to share in the 31-day program. It's like, it tastes like a Frappuccino, but with none of that yucky, sugary, syrupy mess in there. So you're really going to like that recipe, and that involves the chocolate Trim Shake, some almond butter, and coffee. Yeah, coffee. You gotta have the coffee. So that's been one of my favorite recipes of late. Here's the thing that you need to know about the Trim Shake and the Terra Green and the raw egg combo, should you choose to do the raw egg. Yes, all of this stuff's going to be in the recipes. I'm just giving you, like, the basic stuff that is going to be used. The recipes are in you'll find a bunch of recipes here on this page, on Instagram, but you're going to get 31 recipes in our 31-day super simple wellness habits group. Okay? So what was I saying? Something important and life-changing, and I don't remember what it was. What was it? Oh, so for texture reasons, you need something frozen in your Trim Shakes. I promise you, you will like it way better if there is something frozen. And so if you're not using frozen berries or like a frozen banana or something, then you're going to want to add some ice at the end. So when you've got your, where's my cup? Who stole the cup? It was right here. Oh, okay. So when you got your Ninja blender, you're going to fill it up like about, I would say like 6 ounces. So like right here, you're going to fill it up with your almond milk. Okay. Then you're going to add a scoop of whatever flavor Trim Shake you're using. Then you're going to add a scoop of Terra Greens, or bless your heart, if you need to start out with half a scoop, then do that. You're going to add all your like powdery stuff. So any vitamin C powder you want to add, a tablespoon of chai seed, a tablespoon of ground flax seed. Then you want to add like maybe, so if you're doing a fruit one, then maybe you want to add a little bit of the coconut cream or some coconut oil to it. And then you're going to add your frozen berries until you get to the fill line, like the max line. Okay? And you're going to blend that up really nice. If you got berries in there, you're going to taste berries. You're not going to taste the Terra Greens. You're not going to taste the egg. You're not going to taste stevia. Guarantee you. I have a really awesome recipe called Tropical Contact High that is beautiful. I have another one called Berry White that's got lots of berries in it, frozen berries. If you're not doing frozen berries, so an example is I have a pumpkin pie one that I do. And so I add pureed organic pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, for heaven's sake, that's not the same. Pureed pumpkin, and then I add a little nut butter to kind of give you the taste of like the crust of the pie, little flaxseed, and then I need something frozen in there, right? So that's when I add ice. If you're using, yeah, Beck, if you're doing fresh berries, if you have fresh berries, then you still are going to want some ice added to it because the berries aren't frozen. That's why I like to use frozen. The other reason I like to use frozen berries is every stinking time that I buy really expensive organic berries, and if you're using berries, they need to be organic because they're on the Dirty Dozen list, okay? So that means that they're super high in pesticides if they're not organic. So if I'm going to eat berries, they're going to be organic. So I'm going to spend all this money on organic fruit, and I bring it home, and in like 24 hours, it's all moldy. It's so stinking annoying. And so in order to not waste money, I have decided to only buy berries that I'm going to eat like the minute I get home, or they're going to be frozen organic berries. And like a lot of stores have those now. Definitely like Whole Foods, Earth Fare carries a whole section of frozen, unsweetened. Make sure you read that, because I think it's Costco that carries some big old bag of organic berries, but they're sweetened, for heaven's sakes. Come on, people. Why do we need sugar in berries? I don't know. So, but the point is you need something frozen. So when I do the Frappuccino one, I've got my nut butter, I've got my hot coffee. Sometimes it's cold if I made it a couple days ago and stuck it in the fridge, but I need something frozen to give it that nice texture, almost like it's a shake, like from Sonic. Not that I know what those taste like, mind you. But I'm just telling you, like, with texture, you're going to like it a lot better if there's something frozen in there. Does that make sense? So basically what I'm trying to tell you is you need trim shake, you need taro greens, you need almond milk or coconut milk as your base. Somebody said cashew milk. That's cool. Read your labels. Make sure you know what you're getting. Then you need some other fats in there. Some examples of fats would be pasture-raised eggs, nut butters, not peanut. We're talking almond, cashew butter. You can put some actual nuts in there. Somebody says walnuts earlier. Yeah. Coconut cream is a good source of fat. Coconut oil. Chia seeds, flax seeds. And those are all things that you want to use for various recipes. If you're like confused and you don't know where to start, then just join my 31-day event. I'm going to give you recipes. You're going to like them. They're yummy and delicious. I've got a pumpkin pie recipe. Peanut butter cup with no peanuts. It's almond butter. I've got all kinds of yummy things that taste like desserts. Okay, like I think I mentioned key lime pie. So the key is variety, taste, texture. Make sure you've got enough calories and fats in there, or you're going to be hungry and then you're going to eat crap when you get to work. So you're going to eat your shake in the morning, and by the time you get to work and somebody brings in like a giant thing of bagels, then you're just going to be hungry and you're going to eat and you're going to waste all that good nutrition you just did, okay? Here's the thing, okay? It's probably about time for me to stop talking now, right? Yes. What time is it? Yes, 9:30. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a couple important things. So here's how you join. First of all, there is a way that you can join with a little kit that has trim shakes. First of all, I left out a very important detail. Bless my heart. So the way that you get some of the flavors, like if you're going to make a key lime pie, how do you get the lime flavor? Well, what you want to do is you want to get yourself some lime essential oil. You can add a couple drops of lime essential oil. For some of our tropical recipes, I use Citrus Bliss. It's like a sort of a creamsicle taste to it. When I do my pumpkin pie smoothie, I use Holiday Joy oil. You could also use a little On Guard. It's got cinnamon and clove and some of those like pumpkin-y type flavors. I use a lot of wild orange. I use cardamom in my coffee one sometimes. Cinnamon oil. So I have already experimented for you. I'll tell you which oils are going to taste good. But if you're like one of those people that likes to experiment with flavors, then go crazy with your yummy oils that you have. Your spicy oils especially are going to be really good in shakes. Your citrus oils, those are the two main categories. I know, don't ask me about Holiday Joy and Citrus Bliss are not for internal use. I go outside the lines. That's how I live my life. And they're totally fine and they're totally safe and they're so yummy. Okay. So now, yes, Renee, good question. So how do you join? Basically, we have a way you can get a wholesale membership to doTERRA. That's what you want to do. Please don't buy retail, for heaven's sakes. You get so many major membership perks when you're a member of doTERRA, and you pay 25% less for everything. So the best way to become a wholesale member is to find a starter kit that works for you. But if you want to start with some of these products like the trim shakes or even the Slim and Sassy oil, which helps fight cravings and helps you to get rid of toxins, we have a what are you talking about? What are we talking about? What's if they have Hep B if frozen? I don't know what we're talking about there. You lost me. what was I saying? So if you want to join with like Trim Shake and those kind of products, we can put together a bundle for you. You'll have to pay $35 for your membership. Or if you just want to like start out with one of the already made up starter kits we have, then you'll get a free membership. You don't have to sell anything to be a wholesale member of doTERRA. We don't have quotas. We don't make you purchase every month. We don't do any of that stuff. It's all optional. You get an additional 10 to 30% back in free product rewards every time you order. You get free shipping rewards whenever you order. Whatever person you join with, they're going to teach you how to use your products, and they're going to plug you into a community of people who have lots of experience with the products, and they're going to teach you how to use these properly. Of course, as I mentioned, if you join our team, then you're going to be able to get into that 31-day event, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to be so glad you did that. So if somebody invited you to this video, contact them and ask them, hey, how do I get started? Okay. Show me some options, like I'm most interested in weight loss, I'm most interested in oils, whatever, and they'll show you some different options on how to get started. Please get started before the end of December, because if you use a if you get an order that is 200 points, whatever you order to start out, you're going to get a free bottle of frankincense, which is a $93 bottle of essential oil that I use every day. It's good for so many things. It's only through the end of the day tomorrow, so make sure if you're thinking of joining, I would definitely want to do that before the end of the day tomorrow. So contact the person that invited you to watch the video. Okay, if nobody else invited you, or if you're my guest, then send me a private message and say, okay, here, what are the different starter options, and I will be sure to help you get started, and I'll add you to my 31-day group. Okay, if you are a guest, so you're not a member, you've never been to Magic Beans before, make sure you say, I am a guest of, and then tag the person that invited you. That way you can be entered to win a 5 milliliter of essential oil, and we will private message you a free ebook that you can download and read about some basic, really simple daily health habits using doTERRA products. I think you'll learn a lot from that ebook. Okay, so contact the person that invited you, or contact me. Comment if you're a guest so you enter the drawing and get your free ebook. And then we would love to have you next Sunday. Normally these are on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Magic Beans. Thank you for being here. Have a great night. Happy New Year.